Good morning. This is today's live on Equa Television International, and I'm Jemima. We're so excited that you could join us. Today is Wednesday, and you know what we do on Wednesdays, right? We talk about relationships, and we're looking at a topic today: pleasing men. Pleasing men. Yes, pleasing them. How do you do that? Can you even do that to start with? If yes, how do you do that? How have you done that before? We are here to learn and unlearn and relearn. I have with me Engineer Tony J. Nakali. Good morning.
How are you? You forgot the name of the show, but you didn't forget the topic. Good morning. You're welcome to today's life. The topic is pleasing men. It's directly you went there, but you didn't forget the topic, but you forgot the name of the show. We are watching you.
Good morning. Prudence, good morning. How far?
I'm not sure. I think you're on your own on this set.
What is Prudence doing on this set?
I have no idea.
No husband, no boyfriend.
Nothing.
What can she possibly say on
And
this
as
set?
it is, she's lost.
You people that brought Linda. Is Linda at work today?
Solomon Sabo, good morning.
You'd have brought Linda.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Jemima, why do you hate trouble?
Why would you say that? Okay, the Linda.
No,
Linda, are you over there? Please come over.
Why do you hate trouble? When they bring something that is trouble, you just continue greeting people on set. Linda should have replaced. Maybe we should take a break and bring Linda.
Trouble. Always.
Okay.
Maybe we should bring Linda. Linda will be a better person than Prudence here.
Prudence, what would you say to that?
I agree.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're looking at pleasing men
You are
today.
who?
All of
Me
us.
and Solo are going to be quiet on this set to listen to what it takes to please men.
To please
Wow.
men. She said pleasing
But
them.
you are the men, so
I'm actually kind of confused
Pleasing
because
them.
the other day when they said what women want, it was
they say we should keep quiet and listen.
so
We
now
want
we're
to take
talking about
notes.
pleasing men. Are we not supposed to be taking notes from men? To tell us, okay, so this is what you do to please us.
Mhm.
Then
It's
we
a
take
good day
notes.
to be alive.
Actually, when they talk about what women want, trying to please them, you hear people often saying, women are confused. They don't know what they want. Today they want this. The next minute they want another thing. There's just a lot of confusion everywhere. So would you say the same for men?
No.
Well, for me, I would say yes, because
I was going to
generally
say
we're humans.
absolutely.
Of course, you will say no because you are a man.
It's not. No. I'm
well,
not,
I would
I'm
say
not a
yes.
man.
I would say yes.
I'm not a
because
man. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So it depends on what you see. But well, for the understanding of people watching, let's go with I'm a man. I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Well, I would say it's the same thing
Mm.
because we are all humans, be it a man or a woman.
But we have standards.
Yes,
More
we
than-
do,
more than
but
you do.
but not everyone has that.
Men
Not
have.
yes, not all men have standards.
I'm not
You
aware.
you no, I know of that.
You have ever
not-
been a man in your life?
No, but
Okay.
from experiences, from people's stories and all, not all men have standards.
Okay.
Some men, in fact, let's
What do you
not go
mean
there.
not all men have standards? Give me an example.
Of
Men not have
Not
some
have.
men not having standard.
there are men that don't even know what they are doing.
That's their standard.
In fact, they are practically men, but inwardly they okay.
Oh, it sank finally. That's their standard. Everybody has a standard. It's just that what you are looking at is that level of standard. We talked about mediocrity yesterday, right? And
Yes.
we talk about
Yes.
people that are mediocre in nature, right? Some men are very comfortable where they are, especially at the level of, in the areas of their relationships. They are okay where they are. They don't expect much. Marry a woman, have sex with her, give birth to children, and live quietly like that. You don't see men and their wives talking, gisting, having nice time. Some men think that's bullshit. So if you ask them, did I say that in church? Anyway, some men just think that's awkward. What are you sitting and discussing with woman? She will disrespect you, and all of that. But there are men that are waiting to get home to see their wives. There are.
Yeah.
So for the other person, that's a standard. For the other person, and it also depends on who raised that man.
Mm.
There was a today's life that I said, you cannot be in love with somebody and not know how the person wants to be loved, and then love the person well. I don't think that's ever possible. Solo is solo. Tony is Tony. Tony can tolerate his wife coming home at 12 midnight and not even ask her where she's coming from. Maybe if Solo hears that his wife came back home at 6:30, it's war. You see how different these two men are. So you must understand your husband that you are married to. How does he want to be loved? If that's how he wants to be loved, your responsibility is to love him that way. Not your own idea of love. Let me buy him this. You'll be asking, what are you doing spending money on nonsense? I pick something for you call it nonsense. Madam, do you think I like it? So you have to know, how does your woman want to be loved? If she wants to be loved this way, you have to train yourself to start loving her in that direction. If your man wants to be loved this way, if he wants you to worship the ground he walks on, come on, baby. Start worshiping the ground he walks on. You know? So that's just it. People get it wrong when they say, I can't do this to please a man. Meanwhile, he has another. Like I saw something online today that a lady said she saw a man that was looking very, all these service replies and all these things. The guy was looking very fine, tushed up and all of that. And she was like, that's the kind of man you should have. and then somebody was saying that you end up marrying you end up marrying somebody with brown teeth and white Mercedes Benz. Because the other guy was fair, he was looking sleek and he was wearing white. So she was saying that's how you go end up marrying one guy with brown teeth and white Mercedes Benz. So if the white is what you are looking for, the man may not have it on his body, but he has it on his car. So it was very funny. But you need to understand, if you are with Solo if you were with Solo for 5 years, you have just spent 5 years knowing a particular man. When you move on to Hassan, it's another study all by itself. So you need to know what is the difference, or what are the differences between these two individuals. If Solo wants it this way, does Hassan want it the same way or the other way around? So if Hassan wants it a different way, you have to start learning how to love. So this love is not it's just a word that is practiced based on whoever the other individual is.
And pleasing a man does not pleasing a man actually does not come from a place of force. Like, you can't force someone to do that. Even if you try to do that, the person
you can't force the woman to love the man the way he wants to be loved, or you can't force the man
to please the man the way he wants to be pleased. You can't force the woman to do that, because if you try to force her, she may be doing it just to fulfill all righteousness.
No, there's no.
But
in this context,
it doesn't have to get to that point.
In this context,
if you ask
there's
me,
no force.
If
you allow me,
yes. If you ask me, I will say
there are people that you find them in a relationship or in marriage, and then there's constantly one form of battle or the other, and then she is being cornered into a way that, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that, and because she wants that relationship or marriage to work, she is trying to do that, but it's not coming from her heart.
Jemima, there are things that people notice during courtship. They chose to ignore them, thinking when they marry they will settle these things. It's a very huge mistake in a relationship. Anything you see, that stick that you see is better bent raw than when it is dry.
Yes.
Because if you make that stick, if you leave the stick to dry and you try to bend it to break,
yes.
What am I trying to say? That time of relationship is a time of study. It's a time of study. It's not a time of going to eat shawarma and all of that. As important as that is, there's something much more important than that. How well do you know that person? And it goes for both people, the female and the male. How well do you know her? How well does she know you? And when you start comparing notes, I will always say this, but people, I told the lady, she said, Uncle T, it's not as easy as you are saying it. So I said, is it easier to live with it or to walk away?
To walk away.
A broken relationship is far better than a broken. So you don't have to wait till it gets to the level where you start thinking, is this the right person for me? If you have gotten to that level, at the level of courtship, I think you should head for the borders.
And if you love that person
That's the
sincerely,
right time to leave.
That is it.
If you love that
because
person sincerely, nobody should even table out what you need to do to please him,
Do-
because you would constantly want to find ways.
Certain things are even unnecessary. Like certain talks in a relationship are unnecessary.
Sure.
Like, if I just know that Prudence is my wife, these are the things she likes, she doesn't have to tell me.
You
By
see it.
acting, I love this, I should know.
Mm.
When they say love language, what do they mean? Action without words. Like, you just act things without people hearing that these are the things you want. And you just, and by acting, I mean living your life. By just living your life who you are, the man will naturally fish out, except if he decides to be deaf or blind to such realities. And men like that can be Ila and co. Ila looks like somebody that cannot care about hair. There's one Ila in Maraban Jama. That's the one. You can look like somebody that you just be yo. You just, that's you. Madam, will you drink tea? You know, that Ila likes tea. That girl I'm talking about. Oh, you thought I was talking about our Ila here? No, I'm not talking about. I'm also Ila, so I'm not talking about Ila. So
That one in Maraban Jama.
but you see, truth be told, this relationship thing is not a joke thing. It's something that people should carry serious. Coming back to what you said, why will I force my lady to show me what I want? Why would I want to do that when I can make her live the way I want? See, there are two different things.
True.
Forcing her to do what I want and making her. She will even love it that you are making her do what you want. You know what women want? When a woman does something that you like, say it and accompany that with a gift. They will overdo it.
True.
And you sit down and watch yourself be the king that you are. When you come back home, I made a goosey, but if you want okra, I can quickly rush something. No, it's fine. But when you come back, you are like you won't even notice somebody will come back, you go and be in the kitchen, you will come and say welcome and all that. What is wrong if you come and walk to the kitchen and hug your wife and say I'm back and go back to the room? You that doesn't have relationship, what are you doing here? You are laughing on set. Anyway, you are acting your role right now.
Yes,
That's your part on the show. So just keep laughing. But honestly, some people find it very like me anytime I come home now. Like me when I come home now.
Yes.
I come home when I come home. Hey, amen. Jemima, what does your husband want?
My goodness.
First time to know why you are.
My God.
Okay.
Okay.
This laugh is serious.
Of course, he wants, just like you said earlier on, they don't want to.
How many are they?
They don't.
Day.
We are talking
Men,
about your
yes.
husband.
We are talking about.
Yes, I'll get that. See who is talking.
Don't worry, just don't worry.
We will come to you.
Don't worry. We are just starting.
You know,
She sounds like a
wouldn't-
school principal. We will come to you.
It doesn't come out naturally. It doesn't come from a place of love. If someone has to force you to do something that pleases him, but he finds delight and absolute joy if you just do that by observing. Oh, I observe he loves this. He likes me when I do this. He likes it when I do that. And you go to do it. They'll be so excited. And before you know it, they're even doing things that they didn't even think they would do at the end of the day because they are so happy with you. And it's the same thing. Whether my husband or men generally, I think if you do something that that person likes, especially if he didn't see it coming, he gets so excited and he wants to, oh, you do you need this? This is it. Do you want this? Take it. And they are so excited, and that is the joy of it all at the end of the day. So if you would not do anything out of force, out of compulsion, out of comparison, oh, this lady's husband, I notice he likes this, let me go and do it for your husband. Does your husband like it? It's not about what works for another man, but it is what works for your husband, your boyfriend in a relationship, so that it doesn't look like we're talking about my marriage.
I was waiting for you to finish so that I would say the reason why all your points are useless is because I know you.
It's because what?
I know you to be a concise speaker, but you were stuttering when you were talking.
Really?
So yeah. You know, I know that you are just doing kame so that people will not think it's my husband that I'm talking about. However, all the points are noted. Solo, you wanted to say something. All the points are noted.
Can I say something? I know you said that I'm not qualified, but let me talk. Please. Thank you very much. 1 minute. Okay.
You even allocated time.
She's so scared.
Okay.
All right, so
30 seconds.
All right, so I said this when we were talking about what women want, and I think that it just applies to everybody. There's a certain form of attention that someone desires from a companion, and yeah, attention is the word. Someone that would give you attention, would pay close attention to your needs and your wants. And this person is ready to actually meet them. And if there's anything I think a man would want, because, well, I'm just thinking, if there's anything I think a man would want or would please a man, is that his wife pays attention to him. That he's the rising of the sun for her and he's the setting of the sun. Everything is him. I think that's one thing. Like, she respects him. She gives him that.
Point.
She accords
Reverend
that
Williams is
respect.
speaking. Reverend Williams is speaking.
I think this time around, it's not Reverend Williams. It's actually Mrs. Reverend Williams.
Wow.
The two are one now.
Exactly.
I chose to call the head.
Separate.
I chose to call the
I'm
head.
not separating. I'm just saying.
Point.
But so I think my 1 minute has elapsed. So I've dropped my points. Thank you very much for this small time.
Viewers, don't be shocked
show.
if that is her last point on this set.
Well, Prudence, I strongly agree with you. I think is one point that I think I say it like I often say time without number on this set. You see, my belief in this life is that if you find someone you think you want to settle with, is your wall. Is your wall. Once you settle for that, just know that you just find a way of navigating your wall and make it blossom. It's just like you now, somebody giving you a plot of land, and he said you can bring out anything that you want there. It is your own now responsibility to make that place habitable, to make that place look beautiful, that somebody will see it outside there, or people will see it and admire and said, oh, what a wonderful place, oh, what a beautiful house, oh, what a nice parlor setting, and so on and so forth.
True.
It's your own. You own it. And you see, it's just that, there's this illustration that Engineer Tony always give, like, okay, someone is 35 and you are meeting him and you're having a courtship of just 3 years to get married. You're just knowing him for 3 years. has that um,
32 years difference.
32 years different. And then he mentioned something today, very vital point. It depends who raised the man.
True.
And you know, I always say, all of these things that we talk here goes back to the family. And that is why it's key. Parenting is key. You know, we take things for granted, even though, yes, we know there are some people that are so serious when it comes to moral, when it comes to drilling their children, and then having that picture of their children, you know, in the future, you know, and you talk about standard. Some people don't care. They just give birth and just throw the children at the mercy of community and whoever they come across with. They are just comfortable. That's their standard. That's their standard. So you see, what am I trying to say? If you have a man in your life and you have you have courted for 3 years, for instance, and then you say this man is the man that I want to settle, I think that 3 years you can work hard to summarize that 35 years of that man. If truly that's the man you really want to settle,
Even
and
within a year.
even within a year, I'm just saying, because there are some people that did their courtship 6 months, and it's like they know each other for like 6 years or 12 years. Like you can see the bond, because the woman took her time to study the man, what truly he wants, and by that she had a picture and an understanding of how the future is going to be, the future of her and her husband, the future of her, their children. They have that understanding because they are being deliberate, and they know why they are coming together, and they know they are coming together to build a family, because they are seeing they are seeing the purpose of God in them coming together, because they want to establish or replicate God's standard or principle of how family should look like. So sometimes when you see all this back and forth, all this chaos in the family, and you ask yourself, and you hear people asking questions like, how did you get married? Do people go through courtship? It's because there are some key issues that they feel should have been addressed during
At
courtship.
that level.
At
That's
that
true.
level.
That's true.
And then one of them is being adamant, or two of them, they are being careless, because they see it like what you said earlier. It's something that we can handle. But you know, courtship and marriage, they are two different things. You know, and you see, once you get into marriage, it's a ministry. It's a ministry, because you are expected to do that which God desire when he think about marriage, and he said, this is the first institution I'm creating. No more, no less.
That's
But
why
you
they give you certificates
That,
at entry level.
At entry level.
Honestly.
so you see, okay, some men, their idea of what they want is cultural. It's cultural, nothing more, nothing less. I'm Angas, and this is how an Angas man should be treated. I am Tarok. Yes, a Tarok man, you know. When you slaughter a chicken, gizzard is a no-go area. Do you understand?
Before
When-
one dog will go and carry the gizzard.
A gizzard.
Human being the chibashi the dog there.
So you, as a woman,
You
know.
produce another chicken, oh.
So you will see, even those that are Christian, but they are from Tarok land, the woman is conscious of that. Not because the man will fight her if she eats the gizzard, but in her mind she know that a Tarok man,
It's a Tarok man, regardless
you,
of
you-
religion.
you don't play with that gizzard.
Abila Tonga is watching you.
So even So even if the man says, no, don't forget, I think that one, I don't have issue with that. You can eat the gizzard. But you can see the woman being careful. Do you know what she's doing to the man's psyche? That even when I say I am okay, but you are still conscious.
To be very sure.
When you do certain things like this, it gets how the man will worship you in a different way. And when you understand that this is your house and this is your man and this is your world, what did he want? Can you just revolve around what he wants so that for the sake of your peace and your joy in the house, just do it.
Okay.
So it is very important for a woman to know her man and know him very well. But you know, some men, they are just doing extra simply because in their nature they are bossy, because they have this mentality that I can just give order to a woman, this is what I want, do this for me, and so on and so forth. So you just see them seeing their women like just like an object, you know, turning them left, right, center. For me, I would say he didn't even discover who he is and what he wants and what he wants to settle with.
So pleasing a man comes from a place of love. That's a woman pleasing a man comes from a place of love, right? So yes, an understanding. So what would you say when two people come together to get married, not from a place of love? Probably she was forced to marry the man, or there was a situation like pregnancy, or just one thing or the other. How would you want to tell somebody like that to please her man? First of all, she's not even seeing him like a man, because there's no love in it.
Okay.
Or a man that probably came from a place of love, but somewhere in between he became someone that cheats. And that is when she looks at him, she's just looking at somebody that cheats and would never change. So how would you want to tell this person to want to please the man?
Okay. You know, we have responsibility in marriage. The woman should know what's her responsibility in marriage. That's why we have marriages today that are not really working. Do you know why? Because it's either the man or the woman, they are not ready. Because we always prepare for wedding, the jamboree, not marriage. My father is wealthy, as
even the wedding is a reception that we
Exactly.
even the wedding,
actually.
yes. You understand. So let me talk from the position of a Christian. If you are a Christian and you are a woman and you are married to somebody that along the line the person changed, maybe because of his weakness, what is your role in the marriage, and what is your position in Christianity? Because the marriage that you enter can lead you to hell. Are you a Christian? Why are you a Christian? You want to get to heaven, right? Will you mortgage your heaven to the irresponsibility of your husband so that you will go to hell? I think the answer is no. If it's no, then that means continually you do the right thing. What is being enshrined for you to do as a wife concerning that contract, and vice versa.
They should have made you a provost in one of these theological.
Unless you also attend the question.
No, you see,
probably she got pregnant and they had to be married.
That is not a question.
Okay.
That's just an imagination.
No, but it happens.
It
you
happens,
see
but
it.
I would like to call
marriages.
it an imagination. The reason is because anytime you do something on a shaky foundation, on a faulty foundation, if you don't agree that you will correct it on the building, that building is going to show that your foundation was shaky from the beginning. You don't have to follow the plan of a foundation. If it's a 6-bedroom flat you did foundation for, but they stopped your appointment and they did a forceful retirement on you, you can convert it to a 3-bedroom and do it well and furnish it well, leaving the other 3. And when people pass, they'll be like, wow, this house is fine. Do you know the idea was a 6-bedroom? This was what happened. Some people don't care about what happened initially that got them where they are today. They don't care.
It's true.
You see somebody is HIV positive. He didn't care how he got it. He cares about how he's living. Because if you don't care how you got it, you'll be spreading it.
It's true.
Because somebody gave you to.
Yes.
What do I mean by all of these points? You got pregnant. It wasn't rape. It was something that you agreed to go and do. You willingly got pregnant. The difference
But in
between
some cases, there are rape cases. Some
that
people
one is
really
different.
suffer.
That one is different. If somebody raped you, do you have to marry the person?
No.
You know, even if somebody got you pregnant, you don't have to marry the person.
Honestly.
Some people will just come and force you to go and be living in one dungeon called marriage. And then they are at home enjoying their own wives and their own family. They say, that's how it is. So it's bitter for some people, it's sweet for some people. No, God did not make marriage to be that way. Even though Apostle Paul said, they that are married shall have problems. But the problems that we are saying, they are avoidable problems and they are treatable problems. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation, you have to sit down and agree that we got here. I was forced to marry you. You even said in your words, exact words, that she doesn't even see him as a man. I don't know what else she sees him as. Okay, they force you to marry that tree, that olive tree. Why didn't I think of mango, cassava? Cassava doesn't have a tree.
Actually, it's just a plant.
It's a plant. Even the tree is a plant too. Okay, it's not an agric show. But honestly, Jemima, we must deal with certain issues the way they are. If I made a point earlier that Solo even stressed, who raised you? Who raised you? It will shock you to know that, like you rightly said, there are people today that are forcing people to marry who they don't. I was watching a movie with you the other day, and the mother was forcing a girl on the son. Meanwhile, the boy is in love with a different person. The girl cooked. The mother bribed the security man to go and pack salt and pour in the soup that she served. So the woman said, "Do you want to kill me, salt?" Blah blah blah, and it was all fight. We live in a modern world where Jemima should bring a husband and say, "This is who I want to marry," and the parents will be like, "Wow, if you can take this decision, that means you are of age." We didn't know when you met. We didn't know what transpired ever since you met the guy. But for us to think with the training we gave you and everything, you are bringing a man, you know that you have done your homework well. Like I was with a governor, he said, all of you that want to be local government chairman, if you are with me, but if you win, I will announce you. If you lose, we will announce the winner. So go and do your homework well. He told them. And every parent should tell his child the truth. Don't just be worried about your children's education. No, because every parent, that's what we are worried about. How can I be talking sex with my daughter? How can I sit down and be teaching my son sex? He will go and learn the wrong way somewhere else. Because these children, they mingle with their classmates. And you don't know who their classmates are meeting outside school. If they are meeting children in Angola and they are telling them, by the time you are 14, you must have an idea what this thing is. So, can't you see this girl is looking at you in the class? Try her now. And he does not have any other information to counter that. Your son is gone. Otilo. Otilo. But you see, when you start talking, look, child, you are becoming a man now. There will be girls, but forget them. There will be time for it. You start walking. You can, like somebody told his son, he said, look, I don't have a problem when you grow up, you drink, but make sure that it's your own money you are using to drink. No, that I said, no, that's a bad advice. He said, no, that's
don't even drink at all.
Yes. I said, tell him to avoid it. Just tell him the Bible says he's a mocker. He said, Tom, he sees me drinking. I said, hide. So you see, honestly, there are certain things that are called realities of life.
Yes.
Talk to your daughter. Talk to your son. Don't let anybody inform your child. Be the source of their information. Tell them, look, this is wrong. Oh. This one is wrong. Oh. When you come back home, what did you do in school today? I did this, I did this, I did this. Who are your friends in school? I asked my children, are they born again? I asked them. I heard my son and his younger sister discussing, I think, day before yesterday at night. And he asked her a question. He said, where will you keep God when you are making this decision? It shocked me. Honestly, on my bed, I was on my phone and system, but they were on my bed. They were just discussing. And she said something. I can't remember what she said. And he always say, where will you keep God when you are making this decision? I think she said, I will pray or something. Said it will be too late. So you invest on your children. You do your best. God will finish it. The Bible says, train up a child in a way that he should go. The training is not for, like I always say, that time that you are talking to him. It's for when he gets to that age that he will need that training. That is when he will use it. So when you start saying people are forced into marrying other people, whoever forced me to marry anybody, whatever the outcome of the wedding, the marriage is, you will see it now. You are the one that will come and break us up together. So you will see it. The day that you hear that it was just bomb that did not explode in the house, but we shot guns, we shot everything, everybody escaped. You will come back and say, what is happening? Then we'll explain to you the foundation. The Bible says the foundation is shaky. So we have to go back and address certain issues. And thank God a lot of people are watching. You cannot just go because you are the one that gave birth to somebody. You see, medicine in my house, we don't have a lawyer in this family. Go and become a lawyer. A woman was telling us yesterday that her son wants to be a musician.
Yes.
And she told the child, she said, go and get the certificate. He said, okay. And he keeps reminding them that very soon I'm bringing you that certificate because you asked for it. But me, that he even said you should take him to Nashville. So she was asking, where is Nashville?
That what is happening there?
He now said, Mommy, it's in America.
Wow.
Yes. Say, what is happening there? He said, me, when I'm done, music. So you see, when you hear that children are developing a future for themselves, be excited. When you show that excitement, then you start bringing out things. My son came out and told me that since I said this about this and this, he has changed his mind. Now he wants to go into the military. I said, that's great. But where? In Nigeria? He said, yes. I said, top. It's a good thing. You want to serve your country. But the system is so messed up that you can be on one rank for 10 years. Are you willing? Tell him the truth about the system. Let him make the decision. So that when he gets to stay on one rank for 10 years, he'll say, I was told, I went. Then he will continue. You understand? Give them the realities of every existing platform that they want to be on. Just tell them.
True.
But when you sit down and say, Ayaro Naina says I'm a soldier, what is your role as a parent? You need to come out and say, look, this is how it works in this country. If you want to be in the U.S. Army or in the U.S. Marine, I think it's better. They have their challenges, but it's far better than being a military man in Nigeria or being a military man in Ghana or being a military man. You see, you talk. So it's the same thing with this relationship issue. When your daughter starts her flow, that's when you should start talking. See this thing now? You have become a woman. Instead of saying, Mommy, I saw blood. You know, you people you didn't browse it.
It's normal.
It's normal. When you become, it's normal. Okay, when you become this age, you'll be seeing it, and now you calculate from now. You see it again next month. And that is all she knows about. She knows about period. She doesn't know that this is how to calculate her cycle. She doesn't know that she can avoid men at this time. She should avoid men at this time. She doesn't know. Most of these things. See, all the girls you know, start from Ekwa TV. Ask them who gave them the education about this. They will tell you it's not their parents, most of them. They will just tell you, my mom just told me, though, I should get ready. I'll start seeing blood. If I see this is the pad, how I will use it. And and that's all they know. They don't know ovulation. They don't know anything until they grew up. Maybe their friends started telling them, or if it's a Google time, you can go and check it on Google and know all of this is how to calculate it. But parents, African parents,
So it really comes from a place of raising children.
It does.
Bringing them
It does.
up.
It has a lot to do with that.
They
Yes.
grow up to be wives, they grow up to be husbands, and then it's easier to be able to navigate
It's
the whole
not
thing
growing
at that
up
point.
to be.
Mhm.
You understand?
Mm.
It is not going to be that thing. It's going to have a responsibility.
Sure.
If you are talking about being,
Mhm.
by default, everybody will be.
Yeah.
But you see that responsibility, by default, everybody will not be responsible.
It's
Mhm.
true.
Until you start telling them, this is what it means to be responsible.
Mhm.
If you are going to have 5 children, every quarter, at least you must pay this amount. So your salary must be this. Or your income must be this. Balance it. Talk to them. That's just fees, son.
True.
Feeding, medicals, clothing, bills at home, and all of that. And now I see men. You see a man 35 years, he say, you know, there's nobody with my parents. That's why I'm with them. You are lying. It's a lie. You are writing your name in the orange juice at home. You are writing your name in the bag of rice at home. It's a lie. It's not because nobody is staying with them. There is a reason. So are you telling me that at 35, you are a commissioner in a state, you stay with your parents? No, you pay somebody to go and be helping them out. So let's be telling the truth. Sometimes you see, I'm the only one. No, you know, Titi is married. She's in Buji. This one is married. He's in Lantang. And our last born is serving. So I'm the only one in town with them. That's why I'm living there.
And sometimes I think pleasing them, pleasing men comes from a place of can be difficult because it comes from a place of comparisons. Like, okay, this is how this woman pleases her husband, treats her husband. This is how this other one treats her. So you allowed it. Is this how you are running your own home? And then you find a lot of issues there. A man was in the kitchen trying to cook for the wife, and his friend came in. Where's your husband? He's in the kitchen doing what? And you are here watching TV. And I don't do this in my own home. My wife treats me.
Thank
My
God
wife
you said in
treats
your
me
own home.
like
I
a
actually
king.
want to
My
ask a
my
question.
wife treats me like a king. She does this, she does that. Why will you do that? So this man will come to a place that you say, so this is how they treat this man, like a king. Let him become tough. So sometimes they can change coming from a place of comparison.
Yet is like, Solo, Anasa Hassan Defabi.
He has
he
become a
chose to
houseboy.
cook.
I actually want to
He
ask.
chose to
Doesn't
cook.
matter.
How happy would you be as a woman that someone is telling your husband how to love you? And how happy would you be as a man that someone is telling your wife how to love you? So think of it that way. So you don't pay attention to noise. This is noise. You already have a guideline, especially in a Christendom. You already have a guideline on how to love your wife. The Bible is very elaborate on it. It has taught you, look at her like this, behave like this, and behave like that. It does not give you in vivid terms, but it's an interpretation matter. You interpret it right. It does not mean, okay, we agree that culture, earlier on Mr. Solo was saying that culture plays a role in families. But how does culture play a role in your own family? Don't allow people to dictate how your family works. You can't base your home. In fact, I can't even base my career or my life based on what somebody else is telling me. Then how would I bring that to my home? It just shows how no, you don't have information.
How unprepared you are about that, about that
it.
marriage.
Exactly.
Like someone
Yes,
should
yes.
not tell
You should
how
carry.
to
See, you should
run
carry. You should
your
carry
home.
your rules to your marriage. You should
Truly.
carry your how to do it. Your have it. You don't have it. That's why Solo said it is more important. One is a bigger thing. Courtship and marriage is a bigger thing, and he was the one that made the point about you coming together to agree that is your own world. That's how he said it. He said it's your own world. So how can somebody come to my world and dictate to me how I should?
It
If
means
that
I
person,
don't even know what I don't even know what.
so
I'm
if
doing.
I'm only if I'm earning 500,000 a month and that other person that is advising me is earning 150,000 a month, have I told his wife to encourage her husband to step up his earning? You see, there are certain things you can talk about and there are certain things you cannot talk about. I told you, my friend in the US who's a pastor, I went one time and they had a case. A lady was just accusing him that he has been sleeping with her and all of that. We were hoping that the wife would just blow everything way out of proportion and start shouting. And then she said, we were just talking, and then she said, tell me, when my husband is making love, how does he do it? She started stuttering. And she started saying things that were not. She said, it's not my husband you have been sleeping with. See, it's two people that are together. Even if they fight, leave them. Me, I've given advice before to a sister. I heard that same advice from the brother. So since that time, I said, me, if two people fight, I'll just say, go back.
And sort yourself.
Because all I said was, is your mom aware that you are beating? Said, no. I said, Tom, in my candid opinion, just let her know. She's the woman, not your father, because your father will handle it like a man. And I know your father. So tell your mom, but just tell her not to panic. He gets angry, and sometimes he does that, but he apologizes at the end. So just tell her that is it. But then don't say anything much. She will be inquisitive to know how you are doing every now and then. That was just the idea. And she went and ad-libbed. She told Uncle that I said, I should go and report you to my mom. So Uncle now said, because I had this little misunderstanding with my wife, you now told her to go and tell her mom. I said, yes. I didn't say tell. I said, is your mom aware? She now said no. And she said, Uncle T, should I tell her? I said, let her just know. So I didn't say go and report. He said, no, he's disappointed, blah, 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 blah. I kept quiet. But one day he beat her in church after service. Yes, they closed from church. I think she said something. And he gave her a very good lick till she fell down. He was placed on church discipline. He changed church. So me, I didn't advise again. I would rather indirectly post the advice. If you read it and you can pick it on Facebook and use it, that's a random. I'm not talking to anybody. Anybody who cares to read it and use it is fine. But you see, that is why whatever happens between a man and a wife, they will settle.
Of course.
You that is advising. And you know what? There are people that will, you are my friend. You are my friend. Hassan is my friend. Three of us are friends. You are my wife. She is Hassan's wife. Martha, she is Solo's wife. Martha is. Tomorrow, if they are looking for Hassan, call him. She will not call him. She will call Solo. Are you with my husband? Do you know that's how friends of husbands that are friends behave? They are not asking really to know where the husband is. Or to know if you are together. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. They want to know where he is, what he's doing, who he's with. So if he's not picking, you don't know where he is. He don't. I don't know. You don't know. So where could he be? Madam, I'm not God. Last time I checked, I still told you. So I'm not omnipotent. I'm not present. I don't know. You know, so questions like that. So sometimes that's why when I see a call from any of my friends' wife, I'll be very neutral. Like recently, one said, give my husband the phone. And I was driving from a different state to a different state. And Uncle said that he was going to meet me. You see? So, but honestly, he didn't know I traveled. But he said that he was going to see me. It's not like he lied. He was hoping to go and see me. So she said she's calling him. He's not picking. And while I was talking with her, glory be to God, she said, see him calling me. So, and he called. And he went. I was not picking my call. But somebody now told him, T went to Gombe. Now he now told her that he's even coming back home. That. So you see, that one, let's just assume that he was in... Like I watched a comedian who told his wife, call so comedian. In real life, he said, and tell him that I have been calling you on phone and he said he was coming to see you. Please, I want to talk to him. So he was there with the wife. He told the wife to call. And then he was Bovie and Basketmouth. In case you know them. So she picked the phone. And she called Basket and said, hey, Basket, no, please, where is Bovie? I've been calling. He said, hey, he's here. He just stepped out. Let me look for him. And he ended the call and immediately he started calling Bovie and she picked the call. So you just see, when you know that somebody is friends with someone, honestly, there is a limit to how far you can go, especially when they are married. try as much as you can to give neutral.
Not to
Don't be
intrude.
one-sided.
Mhm.
If your friend is wrong, tell him. He will respect you more.
Yeah.
But when you are like, I beg women, forget them, they would know. All my friends, I tell them family first.
Mhm.
Family first. Whatever it is, family first.
Mm.
Put your family first.
Mhm.
God first, family. God first, family. God first, family. Any other thing you do is extra, but God first, then your family.
Mhm. True, true. It is important that you put your family first above every other person. Nobody should come from outside trying to run your own home for you. When they say you are the head, it's not a joke. So you should head that
not a
family
joke,
well.
truly.
At all.
Yes. Nobody should come. You're not co-heading with another person. It is important that
Honestly.
you do that.
It's not just a title.
Honestly,
True, it's not
It's
a
not just a
title.
title.
Yes,
It's a
yes, yes.
responsibility.
Mhm.
You know,
It's a responsibility.
someone once said that as a head of the home, as a father, or rather as the head of the man of the house, you are a priest, you are a king, and you are a prince.
And you are the servant as well.
And you are
Exactly.
a servant.
Mm.
So you are
Mhm.
everything. A priest, what does a priest do? Spiritually guides the family. This is your role. You are a spiritual guide, you are a financial guide, you are, in fact, you are
You are
all-rounder
everything
guide.
depending on the
So,
situation at
depending
that
on
point in time.
actually-
So don't
Yes.
let.
You can't
depending
say
on
something spilled on the
situation.
floor. You are saying, where
Yeah,
is your mother?
king.
There, I come and clean it. When you are there, you can just do it.
Just do
At
it.
that
True.
point, you are a servant.
Yes.
When money comes, at that point, you are a provider. When you know you are everything at
Yeah,
every
and all
point.
the-
Mhm.
And
True.
saying
True.
everything, I agree, because you crashes everything about you for the sake of the family, just like the way you said, your family first. So it means like you are giving away yourself totally to the family. You are serving the family
True.
this time around.
Mm.
So when it comes to time that yes, you need to show the family, the way out. You can't just do it simply because it's just a name, but because it's a responsibility. And I want to say this to men out there that you just feel that women are just object. Like you can just give them order left, right, center because you think this is the way you want them to please you. Even God, have set a principle of even how you will treat the woman, of even what he is telling the woman to do for you. So when you go outside, definitely the woman will rebel. And she rebel when you are outside God's plan. The woman will rebel because you are outside God's plan.
Yeah.
You understand? And to women, understand your man, but don't go outside God's principle. I think once you do that, there will be that unity of purpose, and then you will achieve that reason why you are together.
Yes.
I read something when I was laughing earlier when you were talking about men. Someone says that that forget about women, just look for money, just get the money. And then the savage, the other reply came that when you get the money, she should come and do what? That you see how people write stuff just to make you feel normal and casual, and that's when you are being treated casually, you feel bad because there are certain things that are not really.
Who are these people that are writing on
No,
all
if
this?
you look at it, it's just saying man should just look for money, woman will come, because that's all about woman. She just need money, she will just come, so that she will come and eat the money, and that's when you get
Solomon
this
said,
respect, you understand? You take it because
one
that's what-
said, stop giving women money. That how will you know their hustling abilities?
Wow. So, oh wow, thank you, people.
Another one said, I heard you are in a relationship. Then the reply was, doing what?
Well, thank you. Time is really against us. It was a
Yes,
nice
yes.
discussion. Pleasing men obviously means that all hands must be on deck. It is not for one person alone. Everyone has to come and put their hands together and work to see to the progress of the family at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Engineer Tony J. Nakale. Prudence, thank you. Solomon Sambo, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for doing this with us. We are so glad that you were able to join us. Until we come your way tomorrow, with another great package. Do have a blessed day. Thank you.